Hi, today is how to do a 5 to 10 minute painting of flowers. I'm in my studio. Let's get started. So the one thing that you're going to find whenever you're painting quick is you need to have the colors available to you. Like I don't have loads of colors because what we're doing is we're doing a real wash today. So I have one brush. I'm not letting myself use any other. So this is a real challenge. So please grab your big brush. Grab your colors. These are just acrylics. They are just my cheap ones for well, actually, sorry, I have some professional ones in there. But in terms of colors, we have cadmium yellow, red, cadmium red, ultramarine blue, then a black, just regular black acrylic, and then a lemon yellow. You don't necessarily need all the light yellows, but we're going to do this super quick. The last thing you need is white. So you'll see I'm just using my teaching white here today. You need to have your flowers. If you're copying me, absolutely, please do. Just do it step by step with me. That's what this is. You will also need, you always need a lot of water and you always need a lot of mixing plates. So rather than use one fancy palette, this is not your time to care about that. You just need to be, um, you just need to have plates, like have coverage because we're going to do a lot of mixing. Are you ready? Yeah, you are. Look at the pencil I'm using. I'm not even using a fancy pencil. It's a small pencil. Amazon sent me about 400 of them. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to stand with like arm's length at least between the flowers. We're going to just start from where we are. Your view there will be different from the view that I have here. I've mixed them up, so we've got some that are open, some that are closed. Okay, starting from the base. So, oh, this should be a bit higher. Oh, well. So we have the base here. We can always adjust it. So we're clamping down the base. You can't see that, so let me get a chalk. I think it will be much better. I'm going to actually just use a pen just for the sake of teaching. You're welcome. So we're going to come down, nice rounded base here, and we're coming up. We're going to cut it off there, and then to start, the first thing that we see is some leaves. Okay, just do a little mark of where the leaves are. Then you're going to go for the buds. So I'm literally doing bud here, one in the background, one sitting up here, lovely big open bud here. Here to the side, one open bud here, little guy here, one at the back here, and you're just committing to shape. You're just getting shape on there. Now we're going to go for the leaves underneath. So looking underneath, so we have these nice little bits. We're going to fill them in with whenever we get our paint on there. So underneath the cup of the flower, we have those little bits of greenery. Okay, then we got our stalks. So some stalks are visible, some are not. Some are absolutely not. And then that's all we need for now. Want to look where the shadows are. So my shadows are going this way. So I have shadow on this side and I have shadow coming off here off the bottom of the vase. Perfect. Let's get started. You need water on your brush to start, and you need to have your paints in front of you, and then you need to have let's start with, we're going to put yellow because I need to cover that ghastly. So I'm just going for the lemon yellow straight on here. I do not like to use color straight out of the tub. So we're taking a big chunk of it. And then we're going to take a little bit of red. So you're going to mix an orangey reddy color. It's going to be the darkest that you see of the yellow, right? You can see little bits of it there. So we have little bits in here. So we're just going to dab them in because at the minute, the flower is lots of layers. So they're crinkly little layers that start in the middle and they go out. So we're going to just imply that they're there. I'm actually using this time to go over the red, no, not the red, the black marker, which I'm already regretting slightly. Here, and then we've got the center. Some of the center is, some of the leaves at the back. But just a little bit of orangey yellow on at least one. Then you can add in your extra layers around it. It's really not covering that black. This is going to stress me out. Now I'm taking yellow back in again. So I'm making a lighter version of that. You can add water to your brush so it starts to move nice and fluidly. We're going to just plant the color on there again. So planting it on, some of them are going to be covered in that color. Some are not. So now is not the detail time. More yellow. So what I'm going to do is move my yellow to one side of that really bright yellow because all these little grade changes are what actually makes it really rich. So just plant it on. Plant it on. Plant it on. Plant. Plant. Okay. Now I'm going to take a big scoop of white into the color that I have there already, into any of the colors. This is all three of my colors mixing in. And this bright yellow is going to go over the top. So you might need to keep revisiting your white. You'll see I've already ran out of my yellow. That's all right. So here we're going to the bottom. Look how that starts to shape it, okay? So you have these yellow bits at the bottom. We've got nice lemony yellow bits at the foreground of some of these pieces as well. Over here, these nice open ones. This is where you add in your little layers. You see what I mean? With flowers, you get so overwhelmed with them. You've just got to I'm just mixing more of that light yellow. It doesn't matter if it's a slightly different shade. You just want to have layers and layers so it starts to move towards you. Okay, here we go. This guy in here is being sort of neglected. This is more peachy color I have. I'm going to put some of it in the middle. So overlap. It doesn't matter if it's dry. Okay. Then over this way we have two. Gorgeous. Then at the very back. Okay. Now we want to go back to real bright yellow again. So I'm going to go for the cadmium yellow. You'll see them at the bottom of my tube here. Oopsie. So I'm just going to put that straight on. I'm actually going to put it straight onto my plate here. And then I'm going to add the tiniest bit of black to it, just a teeny tiny bit, right? Just a little bit of black into that yellow. You start to get a bit more earthy, and then a tiny bit of red, just to vary it slightly. Okay, you need water on your brush again, your big brush. It's going to make you commit, this big brush. Okay, this is for the very center again. So the way it is, we want the very center to be nice and dark. So we want, this is a slightly different shade, and it's just little varying degrees as we go along. Doesn't need to be perfect or prominent, but it needs to be a different shade of what is already there. Awesome. Now let's go again. Big scoop of that yellow. Little bit of the black, a little bit of blue this time, and a little bit of red. So all those three colors, that's all the primary colors in one with a little bit of black. Be careful with the black because the black can ruin everything. Everything. What this is going to be now is this is the shadow underneath. So this is the bottom of those flowers, right? This is the bottom where that green leaf will be underneath some of them. So it can, you can push it so it's growing up. Growing up. Okay. Then the center. Some of them you can have your little centers. You can now add in little areas where the leaves, where the petals would be. So you can darken the very light ones. Pick one that's really light and then use that darker shade to create a little line where you would have the petals ending. There we go. Gorgeous. Where it really starts to get a little bit shady inside. Okay. Let's take a break from that. Clean your brush really well. Does not matter if there's remnants of whatever else is on there. Our vase is a nice, oh, I just stood in it in my lovely socks. Do you know, I even took my shoes off so that I wouldn't get them wrecked. And then I need to clean my brush. Doesn't matter. There's a little bit on it. Okay, so it's going to be a big chunk of blue for this turquoise, and then a little bit of yellow. I was teaching kids last week, and it's patience with this one. They're like, no, it doesn't look like it. So a little bit of yellow. You can always add more yellow. It starts to vary the color a little bit. Then when you get to about that shade, see, you then take some white. Doesn't matter if we're not entirely on it. I might make this more a blue color, but there's kind of our base now. Take another plate whatever is on your brush, and then a big chunk of white in that. So you're going to need that other color from the beginning too. Going to add a little bit more warmth to it. It's very cold at the minute. Yep, that looks a bit better. Okay, we're going to just get water on your brush again. Water. And we're going to just plant this on here. Because it's a quick painting, we want to make sure we just get the paint on. I want you to let go of the perfectionism. So there, we've got that nice color on there. Now we want to make either a lighter version on one side. You can see here, very light. So this one would be very light here. What do you want to do? You tell me. Let's do both. So here's the darker blue, right? The darker blue. I'm gonna, oh, sorry, it's the other side. Whoopsies. Darker blue is going to be over here. So all I'm doing is just implying that it's there. Get rid of this guy over here. Doesn't matter. It's rarely one color. It's going to be nice and dark up around here where the top is. And then I'm going to use that as well for my shadow. There we go. We can always go over it. In fact, let's do that now. Take your water. Right. We can add a few little drips here. And then we're going to add in here where it's nice. See the drips will add to it. Lovely. So it's not just sitting on nothing, okay? And there's another little bit of shadow there. All right, then use your dark. Go back to your dark again. What we could actually do is use blue with a little bit of black into that initial blue that you first had. That makes it very dark. And what we want to do is just define the line underneath and then also darken that shadow to the side. Ooh, lovely. And then if you want, you can add in a little bit more of the dark there. But we don't have time. We don't have time for that. Let's use your blue that you've got. And this is where you're back to mixing a shade of green. Now, white will annoy it. So if it totally annoys you, just take this plate, set it aside, get a new one, and let's make a green. So green is yellow. Doesn't matter if it's your lemon yellow, if it's your cadmium yellow, you just need to mix a green of any sort. There's one green. You mix green by mixing blue and yellow, by the way. There's another green. Here we are. Now, I always like greens to be a little bit more earthy. So we add a bit of red to one side. Come back to the yellow, which we need more of. Yellow. And then you get that nice earthy green. There's 3 shades of green, right? Let's just get them on there. So, green here. Remember we had this leaf underneath here? There's number 1. Then we had another one over here, number 2. In here, we'll be fussy with greens. So just pick your area and add in any of the greens. Now I want to change to this lighter green. More lime green, my favorite kind of green. So it's going to be where the light hits this, right? So the light hits it just here. Then the light hits it just at the side where it's coming in here. Then see, remember we had the green underneath the flowers. So they're going to be nice little light brush strokes coming out. There's one there. Same over here. Let's get a few leaves on here. I'm into this darker green in the middle. So come back to your blue. I'm running out of blue. I'm running out of yellow. It's all right. Okay. Stay with me, because it's really nearly there. Nearly there. Blue into here. So get that nice darker green. Now look at it and see. Keep looking at your subject. There's a massive green I am absolutely missing. So I'm going to start planting different greens in here. And then I want to have a stalk here. I want to mix this up so that it's not all just yellow, but I definitely need more greens over here. We can add a little bit of water. I'm going to add more blue. I'm going to add more yellow. Lots of it. And I'm going to have those mixed together. So we get a nice strong green, a little bit of red, remember, to change the color of it so it's more earthy. Lots of water on my brush. And then I'm going to plant in here with all. Now you might need to make sure you have a lot of water on your brush to get in here. This is your darkest bits, in where there's no light. in underneath, but we're just committing to it, right? We're here. Got a nice dark light and shade. Need to be dark and under here. So we're going to take a little bit of black, a little bit of yellow, mix that in to that greeny, browny color. Just commit to it. Not my best color yet, but it's what we need. We need real depth in here. So pick a little area and make sure that there's enough on your brush to make light and dark. Look, light and dark, light and dark, light and dark, light and dark. And then we've got a few little pieces. Okay, almost done. Not because I want to, but because I said we're going to make this in this time. So here we are. I'm going to come over this side just to see. So I'm going to make a few shapes here. So I want to outline that we actually have flowers here. So how we're doing that is just dip-dabbing around it. Okay. Ooh, I just dropped the plate. Clean your brush. And now we're going to clean it really well. See, when you're using these big brushes, they don't clean very well. But we need to make this a little bit more lively. A little bit more lively. Okay, so we're going to make a really light yellow. And then I want to change this around here. Although if I had a pencil, because we're using the one brush, this is our restriction here. Right, so there's the yellow we're going back to from the very start, and we're adding lots of white to it. Okay, then I need lots of water on my brush. I'm mixing it so we get real lemony yellow color. Lots and lots, okay? Lots of water on this. And then this is where it gets fun. So we just want to make, there's a wee bit of life in it. Okay, we can have a wee petal over here too. Okay. Now, we're going to now just go down, back to the blue. Back to the blue here. This is a wee bit lighter because it has some of the, I'm going to mix it even bigger actually, I think. Not sure. Not sure. Right, you need to clean your brush really well. You need to clean it. Go clean your brush. Go clean your brush. I'm going to have to get a new cup. And this is water right out of my kettle. So we get it so it's nice and clean. And then we'll maybe throw a bit of water on it actually. A few wee drips. Be a bit more exciting. Now we need to get that white in it. So I'm just going to go for white and whatever is left on my brush. So big white. Now let's look. We want to make the wee flowers. Look, we want to mix. So we have those little tulip. No, they're not tulips. They're roses. Sorry. We want to make the little roses stand out and their little petals. Here we are. Here we are. And there we go. Now, I would love to keep going with that, but I'm not going to let myself. That is our very quick flowers. Now that I'm going to just add in here, I'm going to bring some water on my brush. So we've got a wee bit of life around here. There we go. The only other thing I would do, how long did that take us? I have no idea. The only other thing I would do is, where's my pencil that I threw away? Here we are. I would just go around it here. So you just, and then you can go around your lovely flowers. So we'll make them stand out. Doesn't matter if their leaves go off. That's where we have the energy and the excitement of our flower painting, or roses. These are called Connie's roses after my auntie who passed away a couple of weeks ago. She loved yellow roses.